Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review. We have our last two beers of the night. Yeah. Our next beer is from Cowbell. Not only am I excited for the Cowbell beer, but I'm really excited for the smell of burnt oil I just got up in my nostrils. This guy just closed. The water heater was on, as was the furnace for a few moments. And they have both turned off now, so this guy closed, and maybe my balls will come back at some point. I might get my own sugar plums back, because right now I think they're about here, because of how cold it was in this room with this guy open. And I'm in shorts and no socks or anything, because I didn't expect everything to turn on while I was in here. Yes, I know I'm in the Arctic, but it's not that cold at this moment. Anyway, so now I just got that burnt oil smell. Anyway, beer is from Cowbell. My cup. I left my cup up there, didn't I? Didn't I leave my cup up there? Oh yeah, it's back there. Okay. And we're looking at this guy, which is colder than I normally drink beers because it's been sitting up there this whole time. This is a sugar plum sour, and it's called sugar plum sour. Ba-doom. What do we got here? This plum crazy sour ale is a tart twist on a classic confection. Plum puree, demerara, and natural flavors will have visions of sugar plums dancing in your head. Demerara sugar is usually used, well, I shouldn't say usually, but it is used a lot in Belgian-style ales. It's like Belgian candy sugar. So, pair this with pork tenderloin, blue cheese, barbecued pineapple, or a cinnamon bun. Okay. And again, Cowbell is in Blythe, Ontario, and I've just farted twice on camera. I hope you didn't hear the first one, but I know you heard that one. So, excuse me, I do apologize. I know, I have no class. My ex-wife would tell me all the time that I had no class. My current wife tells me that too, but she doesn't tell it to me all the time. So plum puree. It's been a long time since I've actually had a fresh plum. I don't know why I was going to put that back there. The color doesn't look anything spectacular. It looks just like your average beer, except for it's hazy. But if I remember correctly, most plums have the basically translucent, clear, slightly tinged juice, such as a watermelon would have. So it's one of those ones that really plays on my mind, because I expect like a color like this, but I get a color like this. Just like with a watermelon beer, I expect a red, even though watermelon just has that slight pink-hued juice. So even if they're using fresh watermelon, you're not going to really get something different in color. But I always expect it. Can smell first. That does smell like a sugared plum. Oh yeah, the plum notes are there right from the beginning to the end. It's full on plum. You get like fresh plum. You get on top of fresh plum. I'm also picking up like mushy, over-ripened plum. I'm picking up a huge amount of sugar on there. It smells divine. I wouldn't say sour though. It smells like a fucking sugar plum burst in my face. Smell my cup. Actually, the cup smells the exact same, and that doesn't usually happen. And this isn't a great nosing glass. Like, it's a fucking little Carlsberg sampler that was sent to me by Marche Turenne. So again, thank you, Marche Turenne, for sending that up when you sent up a beer order. I needed some glasses for the review. Cheers. Let's try this. Did I get the ABV on this guy? Where is it? 5.2. I taste plum. I taste full-on fresh plum. I get a slightly bitter tannic note that you would get from like the skin of a plum. I get and thanks to the Demerara sugar, I'm getting an almost vanilla-like sweetness that just mingles with the plum completely perfectly. It's a pairing that I have not had in a long time. On top of that vanilla and plum, there is a slight tart on the back of the palate, which actually clears this up really nicely and makes this a moreish beer. I could drink this forever. Because unlike a lot of sour ales, it doesn't give that old lady perm taste to my mouth like a lot of lactobacillus beers do, because of the paradigms that come to me because of living in my mother's house. It doesn't bring up the bad memories of living at my mother's house at that time. So right there, it gets a plus. Then you bring up the fact that it has that nice fruitiness, it has that nice tannicness, it has that nice sweetness, and just a touch of tart to help round it all out. This is such a well-balanced beer. Oh my god, that's good. That's a 9.5 out of 10. That's a... I don't want to share any with my wife, so you know what? Actually, it's going to be a 10 out of 10. Because I love the taste of that. I really do. 10 out of 10. I'm going to turn the camera off and finish that. Cheers.